Thank you, Christopher. Good morning, and welcome to the 2023 SARC Community Breakfast. My wife, Bree, and I thank all of you for dedicating your time this morning to being here to learn more about this amazing organization. Our theme this year is Imagine. Imagine all families across Arizona having full access to effective autism resources. Imagine diagnostic services, early intervention programs, children's, teens, and adult services, education and training. Imagine all of that being readily available to all those in need. This morning, you will hear from families who struggled for years to determine what was happening with their child, whereby SARC was able to not only provide an accurate autism diagnosis, but also follow that up with critical therapy services. You'll also hear from an employer who is hiring individuals on the autism spectrum for the highly technical job of watchmaking. And you will hear how SARC plans to expand its reach to all corners of our great state. And thanks to SARC's vision of inclusion, we can imagine that individuals with autism, like our son Bowden, will live in a supportive community with ample access to services and rewarding opportunities.
Chris and I are honored to be here this morning as co-chairs for this extraordinary event. Just 12 months ago, I stood at that podium to share our autism experience. And at that time, we were just 3 months into receiving a diagnosis for our beloved boy, Bowden. When Danny Openden, SARC CEO, asked me to share my story in front of 1,400 people in attendance, I just about fainted. The world of autism was so new to us at that time, and it felt like we were doing everything we could just to keep our head above water. But I quickly saw the importance of sharing my raw and unfiltered feelings with those in attendance. The initial emotions we felt the day we received the diagnosis, the bewilderment, but more importantly, the hope and the courage to advocate for our sweet boy and to be a beacon for families in the same situation. I can unequivocally say that that hope and courage would not have been possible without SARC. They immediately showed us the way, and we're indebted to SARC for their loving care, compassion, and thoughtful expertise during what was one of the most challenging times in our lives. Looking back over the last 14 months, Chris and I are amazed with how far our little man has come. As Arizonans, we are so fortunate to have one of the leading autism research and service organizations in the country right here in our own backyard. We're so grateful you're all here this morning. And if you're here for the first time or new to SARC as an organization, I trust that what you will hear this morning will instill in you the same admiration, compassion, and hopefulness that Chris and I and thousands of others feel. If you're a longtime supporter of SARC and already aware of the profound impact they have on the autism community, from a mother that's personally impacted, I thank you. Thank you for your assistance in blazing the trail ahead and providing hope for our son.
We have so many people to thank before we kick it off this morning. I'd like to acknowledge the 130 table captains who are all responsible for having you all here this morning to learn more about autism. Putting this event together is no easy task, and I would also like to call out the dozens of committee members, volunteers, and grandparents who are all here at 5:30 this morning working hard to ensure that this event be a success. And speaking of our grandparents, they are a special part of the magic at SARC. They are approximately 300 strong and led by the incomparable Kathy Bosco. Every month, our grandparents group gathers together to learn from industry experts and from each other, while at the same time providing that backbone of support to their respective families. Let's give them one last round of applause.
And a very big thank you to our sponsors. It's important for you to know that 100% of this event was provided by our sponsors and would not be possible without their generous support. Every single dollar raised this morning will go directly towards research and the dozens of programs offered by SARC. Now let's take a moment to recognize the contributions from our generous sponsors. Title sponsor, Jayberg Wilk. Gold level, Kathy and Mike Bosco, Sanders Family Charitable Fund. Silver level, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, Fox Family Foundation, Mastech Salesforce Business Unit, Master Electronics, Sanderson Ford, Tito's Handmade Vodka, and Vintage Partners.
And I would like to thank the numerous bronze sponsors you see here on the screen. Also, we'd like to thank the in-kind contributors and the supporting sponsors listed on the backs of your programs. And now, for one of our favorite parts of the morning, learning about the cutting-edge research that SARC is involved with. We hope you all enjoy.